Isn't it remarkable how baseball works? Truly. A few days ago, I'm here sitting here getting pissed and have the bucket on my head, and it's looking no good, right? The offense completely blows. We talk about how that's just taxing the bullpen completely, and so many different things are happening, right? And I bring up the stat a few different times, how they hadn't scored, they scored more than 5 runs once since April 15th against the Braves, and it was that 6-0 comeback to the Red Sox, and blah, blah, blah. Well, just like that, the Toronto Blue Jays have not only won 3 consecutive games, and they're now 19-20, a game under 500. 3 consecutive games now, they've scored more than 5 runs. 8 runs against the Angels in the finale. 6 runs in the opener yesterday, 5 of which off Luis Castillo. And today, they score 6 more. As they win the first 2 games of this series, 6-3 each game. Let's break this puppy down. Bowden Francis gets the start for the Toronto Blue Jays. And who was on the mound for them? Right, it was that Logan Evans, right? Yeah, the young fella, Logan Evans. And the scoring, starts off in the bottom half of the second inning, where former Blue Jay, he torched us when he played against us in Toronto, and it continued. Rowdy Tellez take Bowden Francis deep to left center field. It's gone. It's a 1-0 Mariners lead. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it looks like the wheels are about to fall off completely, right? They had a couple of guys on. It was a Julio Rodriguez single up the middle. Then Cal Raleigh walks. And they have 2 on and nobody out. Then he throws a hanging curveball to Randy Jose Urena on the inner half. He turns on it, drills it down the left field line for a double. In comes 1-run Julio. And it's an RBI double. There's nobody out. It's second and third. Second and third, nobody out. And all that happens the rest of that inning is a sac fly from Leota Taveras, who almost got thrown out of the plate, did Cal Raleigh, but was not, because Kirky set up. I didn't like the setup just because he seemed like he had to be so far towards the ball, which is fine. I understand you want to get it, but you want the ball to kind of lead you into the tag, not go get it and have to come back. And it felt like that's what he had to do there. But in the end, you're down 3-0 after 4 innings. Your offense hasn't gotten anything going. But in the bottom of the 5th, and this is why home runs change ball games. Your offense going into the 5th inning hadn't got anything going, right? It's just been pretty pathetic. Nothing really going on. A couple base runners here and there. Nothing crazy. But with Miles Straw on base, Bo Bichette gets a 93-mile-an-hour fastball and drills it to right center field, and it's gone. Just like that, Bo Bichette has hit a couple home runs now, and also his second at bat, I believe, of the game today, hit a double down the left field line. It was a ground rule double. So 2 extra base hits on the day for Bo Bichette. But more importantly, that 3-0 deficit on one swing of the bat, it's now 3-2. Lots of ball to play. Top of the 6th inning comes up, and the Toronto Blue Jays start getting a little rally going, right? It starts off with a George Springer single. They bring in Gabe Spire in replace of Logan Evans. But then Alejandro Kirk singles to right field. Springer up to third. Runners in the corners, nobody out. And Addison Barger, it's a little infield single. Oh, it was an infield single. It was a ground ball in the infield. They throw out Alejandro Kirk at second base. And Springer comes in to score. And they must not have turned the double play properly. Again, I was actually in Detroit. So I was trying to stay as locked in as possible. But the run comes in, and we're tied. We are tied at 3. And it's a whole new ball game. It's exciting stuff, right? But lots of ball to play. We go to the top of the 8th inning, okay? And they bring in their setup guy, Carlos Vargas. And if you look at Vargas' numbers this season, an ERA of 2.60. He's only allowed 5 runs in 17 in the 3rd innings pitched. But, it can be a little wild. 5 walks in the 17 innings. Doesn't have a big strikeout rate. Has allowed a couple homers. So you're not quite sure what you're going to get. Well, in this inning, boy, you could tell he was off, right? It starts with a George Springer walk, I believe, on 4 pitches. And nothing was close. It wasn't great. And George Springer steals second base. So now you have a guy at second. With nobody out, the go-ahead run is in scoring position. You got to find a way. Kirky flies out to left center field. Obviously, Springer can't move up. That's unfortunate because then all you need was a sac fly or an RBI grounded or something like that to drive him in. Now, you need a hit. But Addison Barger comes up after his great day yesterday, and he's in his hometown of Seattle. He's from, I think, Bellevue. And when I was in Seattle last year, that's where we stayed. So that's how I knew that stuff from Addison Barger. But he had a great day yesterday on both ends of the ball. And today, he rips one to right field for a base hit. Springer rounds third, head first slide. He's safe at the plate. And the Blue Jays now have the lead. It's 4-3. Then Nathan Lucas strikes out. Then Ernie Clement singles to right center field. Barger moves up to third base. And you have guys in the corners with only one out, with a chance to expand on a one-run lead. But Nathan Lucas then strikes out. And you're like, that's a tough one. Ernie Clement then steals. So now you have guys at second and third, 2 out, and Miles Straw at the dish. Not sure how I'm feeling about him, other than his amazing catch. We'll talk about that in a second. But he hits a 95-mile-an-hour fastball from Vargas. He lines it to right field for a base hit. Barger comes in. Ernie's flying around the bases. He had first slides. He's safe at the plate. The Jays lead at 6-3, and Miles Straw comes through. And it's there. There it is. Curtains. You win 6-3 over the Seattle Mariners. You win the series at the very least. So, at the very least, you've got a season series split. They won the series in Toronto. We won the series there. If you win tomorrow, you win that season series, which we don't know how this is going to play out throughout 162 games. But we've talked about it before. When you play these playoff teams that you could be battling maybe for a wild card spot at some point, you want that season series advantage. You have an opportunity to do that tomorrow. The pitching matchups don't really favor the Blue Jays. We'll talk about that in a second. But who cares? They won tonight. Let's enjoy that. Let's get to the stats, shall we? Bo Bichette had a great day. We talked about it yesterday. I think he had 2 hits and then a couple walks as well, right? He was 2 for 3 in the game and walked twice. He had a great day yesterday. And today, 2 for 4 with a run scored, 2 RBIs, a homer. Obviously, his other hit was a double. And he also walked once as well. He got on base 3 times. He's hitting 287 with a 337 on base. And going into play today, had a 698 OPS. But you add the homer, the double, and the walk to that in the maybe 720, 730 range for Bo Bichette. Maybe even a little bit higher than that. Just a great last couple of games from him. He's starting to get hot. We'll see how it goes. Keep moving forward, though. Your 2-3 guys, it didn't do much for you. Vladdy walked twice, fine. Varsho, 0 for 5 with a strikeout. Yes, that's not very good. George Springer, 1 for 4, but scored 2 runs and walked 1. So both times he got on base, he scored 2 runs and stole a base as well. So great job from George Springer. And Alejandro Kirk starting to swing the bat. A lot of singles, but you know what? Here, we'll take it. 4 for 5 for Alejandro Kirk. A bunch of singles for him. He's hitting 282 with a 309 on base after today's game. And this is the great thing about the bottom of the lineup. And I mentioned it yesterday. Barger, Ernie, and Miles Straw had 1 hit each. But listen to what else they did. Barger scored a run, drove in 2 runs. Ernie Clement scored a run and walked once. Miles Straw scored a run, drove in 2. And I think he stole a base. No, hold on. Ernie stole a base as well. Your bottom of the lineup creating havoc at the bottom and making things happen. Nathan Lucas was the hero yesterday. He went 0 for 4 with a couple strikeouts today. But other guys picked them up. It was great to see. 10 hits for the Blue Jays, 10 strikeouts. They walked, was that 5 times? 5 times in the ball game. Pitching staff-wise, Bowden Francis, this was a nice sign. A lot of talk recently has been about him not being very good, maybe a Babe Schneider kind of connection. But 6 2/3 of 6 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, walked 1. I thought most of the time he was good. Rowdy Tellez is a tough pitch. The Randy Rosarino wasn't a great pitch. But other than that, I mean, you walked the guy and Julio was a bouncing ball up in the middle. I thought he was fine. Mason Fluharty might be turning into something a little special for us here. At 23 years old, let me just confirm that. 23 years old, out of the bullpen. He went an inning and a third today in a tie ball game. He went an inning and a third, no base runners and a couple strikeouts. Now, let me confirm this. He went out in the second half of the 6th inning. So he came in for, where is it? Bottom 6. No, hold on a minute here. Did he not? Bottom 5, bottom 6. Right, so he pitched, yes. So he faced J.P. Crawford, got him to fly out. And then he went out there in the next inning and got Jorge Blanco to fly out, struck out Julio Rodriguez, and struck out Kyle Raleigh. Do I need to say more? In a tie ball game. Great stuff from Mason Fluharty. He was awesome again today. And Jeff Hoffman, he might be back. Cleaning of work, 3 punch-outs, no base runners. Oh, baby. Save number 9 on the season for Jeff Hoffman. He needed that. The Blue Jays needed that. And they've won 3 consecutive ball games. They look to make it a series sweep tomorrow. I said, you know why I said that? You know why I said it? Because the last time I didn't say it, and they didn't do it. The pitching matchups, as I mentioned, don't feel great. Yeah, Jose Urena gets the ball for the Blue Jays versus Bryce Miller of the Mariners. But baseball's a crazy thing. You never know what's going to happen. 4:10 first pitch in Seattle as the Blue Jays, more importantly, look to win their 4th consecutive ball game and get back to 500. All right, so you know what, guys? That's going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and the game today, hit that like button. Do appreciate that. The subscribe button. If you have not done so already, comment down below your thoughts on the video, thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from today's game for the Toronto Blue Jays? Twitter, Discord, Instagram, TikTok. All that stuff is down below, so follow up there if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys Leafs edition tomorrow night. Game 4. Yeah, game 4. Leafs, Panthers in Florida. We all know what the Leafs are trying to do. I don't need to say it. All right? For the Toronto Blue Jays, tomorrow afternoon, 4:10 first pitch in Seattle against the Mariners. Jose Urena, Brad Miller. I said that in the video. Someone told me it's Bryce Miller. I'm like, I don't know why I said Brad Miller. Bryce Miller is the pitching matchup there. Thank you so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the game today. Talk to you guys then.